Alchemist, this is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Walter Morello, and the great Vinny Smile Chopra. Welcome back, Vinny.
Hi there, brother. How are you? How are you? I'm in Hawaii. You could
I was
see
just
in
going
the
to say, it
back.
looks like you're in Hawaii.
Not really. Not really. I'm in the neighborhood walking my neighborhood today. Just a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Of course, the golf course and all, some people are working over here. But, the exciting part is it's good to walk. And I just try to get fresh air in the morning. And it's so important. So important. I was thinking about doing elliptical in the morning, in my home. But then I said, no, walking is much better then just that's the key. That's the key. How are you today? Yeah.
I'm doing good, brother. It's good to see you again, by the way. I just realized I got my other background up. So now we're back to Abundance Thursdays. Today's
Yes.
topic is all about outsourcing. So for people who are entrepreneurs, I think last year you said something really powerful on this call, and you said you're already outsourcing, but look in the mirror and that person brushing their teeth, that
Yes.
is you. You are the VA.
Yeah.
So I want to dive deeper into that concept today because it is so many people right now are doing work that somebody else should be doing. They're doing not their work, they're doing somebody else's work, and it's stopping them from doing the highest value. Why, Vinny, do very successful people, why do accredited investors, business owners pulling in $2-3 million a year, why do they still not outsource? Why is it at that level that a person who is used to staff, why are they not outsourcing? What are the roadblocks that a person runs into?
It's all in the mindset. It really is. Maybe it's the mindset, the ego. It might be even just feeling so good that I can do it better than anybody in the world. And that really puts us dampers in our growth because there are people who are specialists in doing the things. That's why I say, please look at your activities and write down, are those activities $10 an hour activities or another $100 an activity during the day or during the week even, and then also $1,000 an hour activities. So it's so important to really differentiate, and a lot of people fear that the things will not work. The VAs, the virtual assistants. I mean, so many people are virtual right now in USA, as you know, after COVID. And I call it international assistants because they are all over the world, and they are able to do the job much better than I can. So I've been working with international assistants, I would say, for 40, 35 years, let's say 30, over 30 years. I remember guru.com used to be there, then Fiverr, then Upwork. I mean, there's so many different places where people can help and do better job than I can.
I want to run a scenario by you. I sat with a gentleman, it was either early this week or last week, and he was running a monster insurance company, right? His insurance company is doing really wonderful. I think he was saying they pull in like 1.5 million a year, 1.4 million a year, something in that ballpark,
Mm-hmm.
because he
Hmm.
was evaluating the business at around 5 million. And he told me, he's like, I'm thinking about getting in real estate. I'm really thinking about scaling this up and going in and investing. He had a lot of net worth in the traditional stocks. He obviously had a huge net worth in his business. And in the conversation, he slipped this sentence out. And this is what I'm trying to understand because I get it logically. I get it, guys. I've been there. But why, like he said to me, I'm doing a lot of mundane tasks. I could hire somebody to do these tasks and then I would focus all on real estate. And the sentence was, I just am kind of comfortable doing this and I got to stay busy. So I'm doing these tasks. But he knew the path was hire somebody, he knew the role, he knew what their job would be, he knew exactly like what to do, but he was choosing not to do it because he didn't have something else to do. Why, like, why does that happen?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is irony of the situation. Really is that, we are busy 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, and we feel at the end of the day, we have accomplished a lot. And maybe we have. But if we look at it, maybe 20% of the quality time that we spent with our investors, our teams, our training, our visioning, That brought the 80% of the result, Pareto principle. That's the universal principle. So even though we accomplished a lot, we feel that all day, 12 hours a day or 10 hours a day brought those results. It's not true. It's totally not true at all. So to really differentiate that, just like I was saying, it's good to just say, what activities did I do to bring those results? Okay, that is going to hit right in the face, and it's going to tell us, you know what? Hey, moron. I shouldn't say that. Hey,
No, we're only live. It's fine.
it's a lie. You know, I mean, you only work these many hours in getting the results. And that irony is very, very important for anybody to hire somebody. See, if we made 500,000 in a year, you look at how many hours you're working, and then you divide the same 500,000 by the productive hours that you are working. So you'll come out with the difference of the hourly rate. And that's what will really change our mindset. Just like I was saying, it changed my mindset many, many years back. That's how I'm able to do so many things in a day because my other teams of people are accomplishing to the best of their ability all the great things, which I'm not good at. Nobody can be good at everything. Let's just say that. Nobody, right brain, left brain. I would rather spend time in visioning, writing down goals, the systems, and then teaching somebody to do the job better than me. That's the irony. That's the irony.
Brother, you bring up something from another call I had today. It was this morning, and this person was asking me what I needed help with. She said, what do you need in your company? What's next?
Hmm.
And the question hit me. She said, what is the next part in her company, in the company? And I think she wanted a job. I think she was looking to put herself into the company somewhere.
Hmm.
And but she's the kind of person who needs to earn 150,000 a year. So I was looking at my
Wow.
company and saying, who earns that in my company?
Yes.
And at
Yes.
the end of it, the only answer I had was my consulting firm that does do all of the management, they make about 200,000 a year. It's split between two guys, so maybe that rolls there, but that's taken, right? And
Yeah.
I looked at who's the next person in that space because everybody else is staff. They're between
Hmm.
25 dollars an hour. The VAs are between
Hmm.
$6 and $8 an hour.
Hmm.
And it was me. I was looking at me, and this year we pulled a net worth about $8 million. So I'm like, well,
Yes.
okay, like that role is very expensive, and maybe I'm holding myself back by not outsourcing somebody to
Ah.
come into that acquisitions space. So
Haha.
it's because this, I knew we are coming into this conversation. I knew I was going to ask you questions. So, Vinny, that's where one of the things I'm looking at is maybe there is another level I'm still in because I really enjoy it and I'm busy. What are your
Yes.
thoughts on outsourcing acquisitions?
Very good point. Very, very good point. I would
Not that
love
I'm
to
ready,
get.
Vinny. Not that I'm ready. I do
No,
like the
no,
work.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you 1000%. And let me share with you how I grew from $7 to, over $1 billion in portfolio. And I always kept my pulse on the acquisition side. See, because that's where we are buying from 14 units for 180,000 to all the way to now $60 million deals and 57 million and 35 million. There is so many millions are riding on the underwriter or the formulas or somebody who will transfer the data for me. And then I should be the one who should be making the decisions and looking through the numbers doubly, triply, because once you get the keys to that apartment complex, whether it's 10 million or 1 million or 20 million, you are in charge. You got to put the business plan in action. You got to make sure the loan numbers, the lender is not going to give you money if the underwriting is wrong, you know? So I would say outsource to talk to brokers to get the deals, to get as many deals, and let even underwriter write them, and let them come up with all the answers, the pros, the cons, like in my worksheet, that we have provided to our investors and all and mastermind students. It just gives you so much space to write why this deal makes sense. And it's a good thing then, if you can, but I don't think underwriter acquisitions person will take 150,000. I wouldn't say that, that at this time juncture, multifamily is kind of bleeding, right now. And you're very fortunate that you have bought some really good deals in Jackson and now in Cleveland. By the way, last night, Mastermind, we were doing live what are the best areas or the states, cities, and guess what came number one? Cleveland,
Cleveland.
Ohio. I will send you the link on my chat GPT scenario. It gave me three cities in each segment, and it told me why they are the best places to invest right now. I said, I'll share that with brother Walter. He will be very pleased.
Oh,
Yes,
Vinny,
yes,
I
yes.
I almost jumped on the call last night. I almost jumped on.
Oh,
I
you should
missed
have
it.
come. You should have come. Maybe come next week, next
Yes.
Wednesday, because I'm going to dig deeper into it. Because they asked me during the mastermind, I said, you know what? I use AI tools, just like international assistants. AI tools are your assistants.
You
Hold
can
on.
outsource work.
Oh, outsource work. I mean, I'm able to pay $20 a month for this assistant, not an hour. ChatGPT 4.0, it's got five different versions in it. It's understanding my language. I've fed my language into it. It writes as if I will be the one who will be using that information. Everything. We are using ChatGPT to the hilt. I like Perplexity also. I pay $20 on that too. That's okay. But the thing is, ChatGPT, I love it and she loves me. I don't know if that's a C or a he. I don't know. But it's mind blowing that
Yeah.
I put the right prompts. It answers by scanning all over the world, all over USA, all the websites, and puts it in a simpler way how I want it. And I was able to do that. That recording is there. I think my team is going to put it out, and I will see if they can clip that segment, where it shows
Yeah.
all these different cities. Anyway, and you could do that. So, as we are talking about delegation, that AI tool, ChatGPT, is a delegation tool. It is. I mean, it's like writing copy for me. It's making videos, scripts for me. It's doing everything I want by just asking the right prompts.
Vinny, you brought up quite a bit, and I think you're right. I don't have to pay somebody 150,000 to be in acquisitions. I have people on staff who could just make calls to brokers and then underwrite
Yes,
those products, and I'm already paying them, and this would be a small little piece for them to do. Then it comes to
yes,
me, and I can go do my decisions. That's
yes,
so
yes.
powerful. The AI tools, that's a part of outsourcing, right? So the power of outsourcing is leveraging technology and leveraging people and
Yeah.
there are other experiences to get things going to the next level. You talked about virtual assistants a lot, and you talk about it all the time. How did you first get into the international assistant space? This is before Upwork, before Fiverr, before it was popular. Why have you been using it for so long? Like, I just I remember when AT&T switched over, and I called AT&T to fix something, and it was like in India, and I remember being a little bit frustrated by that,
Hmm,
but
hmm.
also then it became a theme. But it sounds like you were jumping on it right when AT&T was jumping on it.
Long time back. I used to, in my previous life, motivational speaker and fundraiser, I used to always say and teach systems. And that's the beauty of it, because once you formulate a system, what you want to get it done, you can really delegate it so that other person who is a specialist in doing the job better than you, why not give it to them? Many times it was the fear of how much expense it's going to be, right? That's one thing. Giving responsibility to somebody and not getting it done, or doing it badly, or doing it incorrectly. But you know what? We could train anybody. We could, especially who is an expert in that field. They should bring all the, we should hire the right person, first of all, right? So what I did was, if I remember correctly, guru.com, Guru. I don't know if they are still there or not, but I've been using Google and YouTube all my life. So I would really ask for who are assistants at Craigslist, by the way. Can you believe it? I've used all kind of places to find assistants, and they were all over the world. They were in Jamaica, they were in Canada, they were in Africa, they were in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, everywhere. Philippines, which I love Philippines, as center hub there. But the key thing is when you look for something, the answers come to you. When a student is ready, the teacher appears, like you and I talked about last week. So
So
I,
I'm
I
I'm reading the
yeah.
notes now. So one of your hacks is hire a VA for just 5 hours, give them one task, start small,
Hmm.
grow up, let it grow over time. Another one you
Yes.
had in here is create margin. So when you outsource, create margin, mental bandwidth to dream, plan, execute at the highest level. And your hack is the CEO power hour. So weekly focusing on strategy, vision, and connecting
Yes.
with investors, and then
Yes.
delegate the follow up. This next note you have is dump don't think of it as dumping tasks. You're
You
training.
cannot.
You're
You cannot. You cannot. Even with our own team members, right? We got to 158, team members. But the key thing is you hire the best of the best crop, but then they have to get into your corporate culture, and then let them really understand what the job responsibilities are, what the results you want with the vision. Let them buy into the vision, and then leave them alone. I mean, the biggest trouble with a lot of us entrepreneurs and those who want to really zap them, you never train them, you give them and then you come back after a month, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. That's what it's the wrong thing in that. As a CEO, as the manager or regional or whatever, you got to make sure that people under you are performing as you want them to, and by teaching them and sharing with them the hacks, they will grow. They will grow in that skill even more. They would like you more. I'm telling you, people who love you and like you are the people you make them, help them, train them, and tell them how good job they are doing. See, the thing is, if you want to get better performance from anybody in the team, you praise them rather than cut them down. Five praises, one cutting down or something. I think there is a ratio. You cannot just withdraw the money from the bank if you haven't deposited it. And the same thing is true in our teams. You got to add good feelings so that they meet with you weekly or bi-weekly or whatever. They look forward to meeting you and sharing the successes. But if they are not doing the right things, then it's your job as the CEO or the entrepreneur to teach them, hey, what happened? Let's look through it. What are the solutions? So I used to really tell them, bring this challenges, but bring three solutions with it. And let's just talk about those things. See, because they have to figure out how to do it. If you give them fish, 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 fish every time and not teach them how to fish, it's not going to work.
this is coming back to principles that I hear often. Don't abdicate. You got to delegate and then give.
Yeah,
It seems like training a person in the beginning is like, oh my God, it's so much work, it's not worth it. But then eventually it does
no,
drop off, and
yes,
that person's off and running, and you just got to high five them and keep the high fives going. So this
exactly.
the
Yeah.
final part here you've got written down is the automation revolution, right? So you talk about
Ah,
Asia as the place where there's a lot of opportunity, and then the future is designed by what you say no to. I have found I say yes a lot. When I was earlier
yes.
in my career, I'm a people pleaser. I want to make sure everybody around me has what they need,
Yeah.
and I've put people in front of me to protect me from saying yes. So like that person says no, and then only the right people get to me. How does an entrepreneur who doesn't have that protection in place yet get to the point where they are identifying what is right and what is wrong? Because you watch the movie The Yes Man, and it seems like everything gets better when you say yes, right up
Yeah.
until you're naked at a conference and everybody, like what happened? So what is what is your rule around this concept of saying learning to say no?
I'm so glad you're asking me this because yesterday I spent 3 hours with my marketing team. 3 hours, literally, I carved out the time because we are putting questionnaires to the hilt. People who are getting on my calendar, they have to pass through many questionnaires and answers and everything, and we are putting some what's the word conditions that if they are accredited investors, they can only go to the next level and then schedule 15-20 minutes with me because I don't want to waste their time. See, the thing is, that's where it's coming from, not wasting my time and their time, because if I cannot help them, then why they should really get into saying that, okay, Winnie is going to change my picture. Winnie cannot change anybody's picture. The thing is, I can help and get them into the growth mode and everything in the mindset, or investing with me, accredited investors, or into the deals, or I can put them into my circle, things like that. So it's the art of saying no. The quicker you say no, it just happened this morning. I had a great call with a good buddy of mine from New York, and he was trying to explain some things which I had heard many times over and over and over again. I said, you know what? Is it okay if I can just tell you? I don't want to waste your time.
Vinny, was it
And we,
infinite banking?
oh, yeah, it was. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, you hit the nail on the head. People are coming out of the zoo to just, approach and all these different posts and everything. And I was very candid with him, and he was a good student of mine. He learned few things and all that. And then, I said, I don't want to waste your time. I don't. And we exited, within 7 minutes, which is
That's
fabulous.
awesome.
See,
That's phenomenal. You figured
that's
out
the game.
where he's at. Get off the call. It's Dorina gave me a hard time this week, Vinny. I gotta admit
Hmm.
that I was on a call for 17 minutes with a wholesaler, and
Oh,
the person he was not listening to my advice, not listening to what I was
yeah,
saying, and
yeah,
like Dorina just she was standing over there and she's like, just hang up. Just
yeah,
like this person's not going to get into multifamily. They're not going to go do anything.
yeah.
Let them go. They're sold on their own thing. They're talking over me. She's like, dude, like, why are you still on the call? Just you should have hung up 7 minutes ago.
She's right. She's
Yeah,
totally right. See, all of us, I hope everybody watching us, listening to us, please take it to heart because your time is valuable. That's what we are talking about today. If you're doing mundane things for $7 an hour till and you just earned after 8 hours $56, take it to the bank. That's all. Literally, take it to the bank and deposit it. Or if you really put your time and earn $500 an hour, after 8 hours, you take 4,000 to the bank and deposit it. That's how life changes. That's how we are able to make a difference in the lives of people that we can change. But if we are every day stymied with all the, $5, $7, $8 activities, we are not going to reach our goal or provide for the family or do the, education of kids and travels and charities, all that. It
yeah,
all boils down to us. We got to change ourselves to grow. You cannot change anybody around you. You
no,
cannot. Very little, very little. What you just mentioned about this example is so right. Dorina is so right. Because this person is talking over you, like she said, and then he's got his mind set up in 15 minutes. I cannot change. It took them years. It took him maybe 10 years to where he is or
yep,
she is, whatever. And I think the best thing is to just exit because then you have time and mind focused to help those who need help. See,
right
that's what it is.
after right after that call, Vinny, another gentleman invested a quarter million with us. So it
Look
was
at that. Look at
like
that. Look at
imagine
that.
if I had spent a few more minutes on that call, I would have missed the next call or not taken the
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
she was right. She's like, you need to be more on those calls with people who actually want what you got and
Yeah.
less of the calls because that wholesaler is not going to be a millionaire. It's going to
No.
take them 5 years, 10 years to finally wake up to what I was saying. and they'll
Yeah,
forget the whole conversation happened anyway. So
totally, totally.
saying no, Vinny, I'm listening to you. I hear you, brother.
Uh,
So what is a
that,
piece of advice to give somebody? So you wrote down for learning to say no, you said 80/20 rule weekly. For somebody who's looking to outsource, what is the first thing that you outsourced? What was the first thing, if you go all the way back to beginning of your operations in multifamily, what was the first thing you outsourced that you remember?
as I recall, I think definitely when I got into multifamily, the branding was a big thing for me. I didn't have a website for 5 years and so on like that. I only got onto the ground 2015. That's only 10 years back, even though I've been in business 18 years. It was just word of mouth, word of mouth. My grew my client base and everything, right, investor base. And I was talking myself with the people and getting the lists ready with the brokers and all. So I gave that out, to get the VAs to help me with that. Writing my 3 books, I delegated those also. Not a
Hold
good
on, hold on.
writer.
So the first task was pulling lists.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes,
So you had VAs pull lists of brokers and potential investors, and then you were
totally.
still making the calls. You didn't have a VA
Yes.
making the calls.
No, no, no. Because see, when you want to get people to give you money, they want to talk to you. Who are you? They will trust you, they will like you, they will say, he's listening to me, my goals and everything. And you have to adhere to SEC rules, regulations, curation period. If it's family and friends, you're meeting with the 3 touches, then you are sharing with the future deal, all those things, right? I was doing 506Bs. Now we do 506C, which is we could talk and advertise and everything, with accredited investors only.
We could
The
say go to vinnychopra.com. Check out
yes,
my
yes,
invest me button.
yes, 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 exactly, brother,
Invest with me,
exactly.
invest with us.
So, that was that. And then now my whole marketing team, my graphic arts team, my editing team, my Go High Level team, I just hired a full-time expert now for Go High Level. And she's just miracle, miracle for me, really. I mean, it's just amazing how much productivity is coming in. How much, we sent out mass texting last night to 4,700 people, and people are conversing in the text right now, and that's the beauty of it, to re-engage. So ChatGPT gave us different scripts written for me, for my business, and then now we are implementing those to reach out to our databases to revive those who are still in the accredited status and everything. And so I think delegation of communication, posting, writing, blogging, but you need to talk to the clients. You need to talk to the people that really team, the brokers and attorneys and everything, and visioning so that you are moving to the next level. So
I love
we,
this.
yeah,
I
thank you.
love this, and
Yeah,
I want to caution the entrepreneur out there who's hearing Vinny say other people create his content, other people do his emails.
yeah,
Vinny still does his email. The VA may do the sequence, but Vinny was writing that email,
yes,
reviewing that email
totally,
because
totally.
it's our
Yes,
communication with the investors. And I for one do not outsource my Facebook. I do not outsource my LinkedIn. I do not outsource my Instagram. That's me. Those are
yes,
my
yes,
posts, and
yes,
it's it's built a very good understanding of where my investors are at and the relationships I have. So I see
yes.
this with realtors all the time, Vinny. Realtors with the worst posts ever, right? Just terrible outsourced posts, and it doesn't
Yeah.
work. The content doesn't work. But
Mhm.
I think that we've gotten a lot out of this. Your
Oh,
first hire,
thank you,
your
brother.
first
Thank
hire
you.
was pull the lists. Pull the list. That takes way too long. And but to call the people, that's where the money is. The opportunity is there.
Yes. Yes, exactly, exactly. We
Wow.
should be spending time in relationship building, building our brand, and getting to know investors and team members so that they feel comfortable. that they want to do business with you. Your company is the company, but you are the company. I say that, right? Unless you have other VPs and, other people, and you definitely want them to also progress and everything, in so on. But our investor base, we have kept it to ourselves in the family. We are a boutique company. So it's very, very important that we, safeguard our, highest investors and everybody, the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just
Vinny
kind of
Chopra,
rushing back because I'm doing an
Abundance
Eventbrite.
Thursdays. Next week is Wealth Principle 26. We're going to dive into it. Study the people and businesses that are performing the way you want your business to perform. It's a long principle, but I
Yes.
think it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody who is obsessed with Vinny Chopra, who's loving the Abundance Thursdays. Ladies and gentlemen, we do this every 9 a.m. PST, and we do it on 12 p.m. EST on the East Coast. Cheers to your success. When you have a choice, always work with the best. We will see you next week.
See you next week. Next week. Thank you, brother. Thank
Later,
you,
brother.
brother Walter.
I'll
Yeah.
send you the recording.
Excellent.
Cheers.
Excellent. Alrighty.